Hey there, long time no video. I know it's been a minute, but I was experiencing some things this week and I wanted to share them with you. So I figured if I didn't get at it and get this video in pretty soon, my garden would be past its peak and I wouldn't have gotten to share any of it with you. So I wanted to do a video and do a little garden tour, tell you a little bit about some of the things going on. We have added a lot to our chicken flocks, so we're experiencing some new things with all of them. They are loving the plants I have around. The ones they're not supposed to be in, but I don't mind sharing. They're worth the company. We did do the planted all the picked all the black raspberries for the season. Those were done a couple weeks ago, and I got 2 full batches of jam in, so I'm thankful for that. And that was just off of all them wild black raspberries that I have on the property, so didn't really have to do too much to earn those, but I am thankful for them. And I have already harvested some of the garlic and have also harvested some pickles or cucumbers and made pickles. So I got 2 batches of pickles, 1 batch of dill pickles, and 1 batch of bread and butter pickles. And the cucumbers are still coming in fully in the garden. So I'll take you around on a little tour and show you what's going on in the garden, and a lot of different things this year, and some things that I still have to research and find out why they are doing what they're doing, but definitely some odd things going on in the garden. So let me flip you around and show you what we have. So got a couple of really big, huge sunflowers on all 4 corners. This one over here didn't get very tall, but had a couple of beautiful blooms from her so far. So I absolutely adore coming into my garden and seeing my wind spinner there in the middle that you gave me for my birthday, Mother. So thank you. I enjoy that thoroughly. It does have a solar light on it, and in the evening time, I'm trying to hook my garden gate here to keep the chickens out. It shines a little light, so I'll have to take some pictures of that at night and show you. But it is definitely a nice little addition to the garden. Here I got my garlic up here. I harvested the garlic that was over here, and I still have that garlic to pull up probably this weekend and get that drying. So I have a little sacrificial cabbage plant there. Every year I've tried those, the worms just get at them, and so I had one left over that from another garden I planted, and I threw it in here, and the worms have enjoyed it. So marigolds were a new addition to my garden this year. I've never planted those in my garden, but I know that they're also beneficial, so I've been doing research on companion planting and trying to incorporate that in my garden, and so far I sure do enjoy the colors of it. I don't know if it's prevented any pest or not, but like I said, right next to it's a fully eaten cabbage plant, so definitely does not deter the worms. Here I've got basil in the front planted with some tomato plants, and these are the Mountain Spring tomato plants. I don't know if it was the lighting, the temperatures. We had some really cold nights in May after I planted, but this plant polypropylated, or I don't know, I don't really know how to say it, but as I showed you when you were up here, Mom, this is what those tomato plants have done. They just really focused on the root, or the stems and the leaves, and but I do have some tomatoes on her, just not as big as the other plants. So This one kind of did that, but not as bad, and I do have some good tomatoes in there. I'm not going to put my hands in there because I saw a crazy looking spider the other day, and I haven't researched yet to find out what kind it is, but I did not like the way it looked. So I'm keeping my hands away from these for now. I definitely have, I think this is water fungus. We had some bad rain. A couple of my tomato plants have that, but they're still looking okay. I'm still getting tomatoes and stuff on them, so, or tomatoes on them, so I'll leave them and try to see what they do. But more tomato plants, you know me and my tomato plants. I did plant a couple of blueberry bushes in here, but I didn't account for how big everything was going to get, so I'm going to try to move those. I want to put them in some raised beds outside of the garden. Half tempted not to due to the deer and stuff, but we'll see. But definitely got to get them in a bigger, more permanent spot for them. I got some dill here, and that is planted next to these cucumbers that have gone crazy. I have, like I said, done 2 full batches of pickles. Been eating a lot of them, still getting a lot. Still have a lot of blooms. So I'll probably get a few more batches of pickles in before they're done. But this is also cucumbers over on this side. This is a small white cucumber that is also a good pickling, canning cucumber. So enjoying those already this garden season. More tomatoes over here. I have started to see them changing colors, so they're starting to get ripe. Some more basil. Here I have jalapeno peppers and onions around the edge. I do have a lot of blooms starting and a lot of peppers that have been coming in. And one of the things I've noticed, I seem to have a lot of foliage, a lot of green, and I think that last fall, when I tucked the garden in, I did put a lot of my old chicken bedding in here, so a lot of nitrogen was added into my soil, and I think that created a lot of this green growth. This plant here is a loofah gourd, and it will loofah gourd. It will create these big gourds that you dry out, and then you can cut them into loofah sponges. So that is a new plant for me, and it's just gone crazy. A lot of starting to see, I had a lot of flowers, and now they're starting to shrivel up, and I'm starting to see this, which I will believe will turn into the gourd. But there's a bunch of them, so we'll see how those do. If I make it to the end with them, I'll definitely pass along some loofahs to you. Here I have a, I believe this is either a zucchini. Yeah, this is a zucchini plant that came up from last year. I have been battling with the squash bugs as well as the squash vine borers, but I've been pretty diligent about coming out and, oops, here I got some, taking tape and getting the eggs off of the plants. So it has definitely helped with control of the volume, but they're there. So these 2 tomatillo plants, one made it from seed this year, and that was the one that I planted on the right. This one was a reseed from last year that came up over in this corner, and when it got big enough, I transplanted it over here with this. This has just grown massive, and I have a lot of tomatillos on it. So last year I didn't end up doing anything with them. So this year I really do want to make some salsa verde. So my beautiful flowers over here in the corner. Definitely been seeing a lot of pollinators in my garden. Everything does need to be watered really bad. It's evening time. I've been at work all day. I did not water today this morning before I left. So I am going to wait till morning at this point, because I know you're not supposed to water in the evening time, but they're starting to look a little sad, and I'm just seeing it even worse on these flowers, but they bounce back really, really good. They're hardy, so I will water very good in the morning before I go to work. Over here I have yellow zucchini and green zucchini. So those are starting to, I can probably pick that little baby if I wanted to. Starting to get some fruit on them. And over here I do have a pepper plant hidden in there. I don't know if I have any peppers on it at all yet. I don't see anything, so it might not be getting enough sun over here. Marigolds I got planted that are hidden in there. Over here I have, my goal from last year was to get this thing down and put a door in here. I haven't done that yet, but I really want to. And I'm getting rid of this water tank out here because I don't use it. And I'm going to have a path that will go through there, and I want my door over here. So maybe this year I'll get that done. This is a butternut squash. Like I said, I am battling with the squash vine borer, and I can tell because my limbs are starting to go yellow. And if you recall last year's, I was battling with them. I would cut the stems and try to find the larva in there, but I'm just letting them go this year, and we'll see how they do. I don't have a lot of fruit on it yet. I think I noticed one that looks like something's been eating it, so we won't be, but that was probably a chipmunk or a squirrel. And I got sage in there. I've been harvesting my sage. My oregano over there I've been harvesting a lot. I've been making Italian seasoning, dehydrating all that stuff. Rosemary, thyme, a lot of herbs that I have up by the house in my herb garden. And I've been able to make a nice little batch of Italian seasoning. Mint, I harvested. It's gone to flower and seed now, so I won't be taking no more. But I did root some up, cut some off and made roots, and I'm planting it over by the chicken coop to help with the smell and pests, and the chickens like it. So green beans, I need to start getting out here and picking. These are all bush beans, but they're about, some of them are getting pretty big, so I do want to come and start harvesting these. But my goal was to hopefully do enough beans that I can my own green beans this year, because I have one jar left, and honestly I haven't used it because it was my last jar, but I'm gonna use that soon and can some green beans. So my middle bed over here, I planted some more green beans here not too long ago, so those are just coming up. But my strawberry patch has done wonderful. My friend Lisa did send me some more strawberries, and I planted them all over here, but they did not make it. And these just keep growing and have been putting off shoots like crazy. I do need to get out here and pick. I have not picked yet today, but I do have strawberries, so I'm getting about a handful a day, and more shoots going off. So I don't think I'll have any problem filling this bed with strawberries here pretty soon. So I maybe shouldn't have done the beans there, but at the time none of these little fellows were there, but they're starting to root already, so I'm just going to leave them and try to redirect any new ones so they're not going further down. But that's what I got going on there. Over here I do have pepperoncinis, lots of pepperoncinis, a lot more than I do of the jalapenos. I'm probably going to come in and harvest pretty soon and get some of them off. This right here is red long beans, a new crop for me. I have never grown it before, like I said, a new crop, but I haven't seen any beans on it yet. I do see these things here, little shoots all over, so I don't know if that is going to become the bean. Actually right here I got one coming there. That's the first time I've seen that. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen any beans, so that seems a little odd. Like I should have seen that by now, but red noodle bean is what they're called. So that's a new one. We'll see what happens with that. But the gourd one you can see is coming all the way over onto this side and coming down even. This is gourd. Yeah, so I don't know. This whole thing here is all gourd. So that's kind of overtaken everything. But cherry tomatoes along here, and I've been eating a few here and there, starting to get ripe. Nothing, no big large amounts yet, but I have a couple people at work that are anxiously awaiting those cherry tomatoes to come in. I took them in by the handfuls last year and everybody enjoyed them. Some more tomatoes here. These are called hillbilly beefsteaks, and they look odd. They've had curled leaves all year. So I gotta believe it's something in my soil, maybe. Not necessarily the rain. I don't know. I always first go to the watering cycle, but I don't know what it is. So definitely got curled leaves in here, but lots of fruit, lots of pretty big fruit. And those are, again, the hillbilly tomatoes. Here in the middle, my green stalks, first of all. I did not pay enough attention to them, didn't give them enough water. I did plant nasturtiums in here. So those are supposed to be a great companion plant for your garden. But I just didn't give them enough attention. And honestly, we went a stretch with no rain, and I didn't water them. So my own fault. Here I have, the whole edge around here is Oregon snap peas. Oregon sugar peas, sorry. I have been harvesting those for quite a while. What is left on these I am going to let go to seed and save my seeds for next year. So those will just stay on the vine until they dry out and shrivel up, and then I will have these for next year. I've absolutely enjoyed coming out to the garden and snacking on these while I was out here, and I've enjoyed frying them up. We've been eating a lot of them. Took a lot into work, but they've been wonderful. But the peas that I had were from 2013, and I wasn't sure that they were still good, so I just planted the whole bag, and I got a ton. I'm telling you what, they all, except for a little batch right here, the rest of them all came in. So I've been thankful for those. They've been delicious. Do have orange, yellow, and red bell peppers in here. I have lots of big peppers. I've already been harvesting and eating them and using them with some meals. I'm going to probably go ahead and take these big ones off here pretty soon. I was watching some videos last night about when to harvest them. Like, I know if you wait till they turn their color, they're sweeter. So I want to leave some for that and kind of try them out at different stages and see how I like them. Here's some shishito peppers, and those are good for frying up. They do have a little sweet kind of pepper to them. So I grew them once a while ago, but I don't remember anything very remarkable about them. But I wanted to try them again and try a couple different recipes with them, so I have those. I haven't planted anything in my little basket yet. I was debating on what and just didn't get around to it, and honestly I've been so focused on that and I haven't missed it, so I like the baskets hanging there anyway. Here in the front one I have lavender. This has been just beautiful and smells beautiful, and lots of bumblebees around it. Here is calendula. I planted some from seed here this year. They haven't flowered yet, but they're getting ready to. Got lots of buds, and these will reseed here as long as I don't cover them up too much. But I do plan on adding to my soil beds this year, so we'll see. Another lavender that I started from seed this year. That was one lonely plant that made it out of the whole batch that I did. And it's been getting blooms on it. So eventually I wanted to make this whole bed lavender. These were the sugar and peas. And at first I liked them, but once those started coming in, I like those much better. So these I've let gone to, overseed. So I'll leave those to dry out and reuse those seeds for next year if I decide to plant them again. I may pass them along to somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. Over here I have more basil. I've been trying basil tea a lot this summer, which is okay. It's nice and refreshing at times, but it's like a sipper tea, really. I brew the leaves, let them steep for about 30 minutes and add some honey and some little bit of lemon, and it's really good over ice, so I enjoy it. These are black crimson tomatoes, and they're starting to turn ripen for me, so it won't be too much longer, and we'll be eating some tomato sandwich, tomato on homemade toast and with some mayonnaise. Delicious. I do have a few more cucumbers that I put in back here. These are I don't remember what kind, but I think they're like a longer, not a little pickling cucumber. They're a slicing cucumber. So I just put those in not too long ago. This was a reseeded tomato plant from last year, so I don't know what kind it is, but figured to get a late harvest off of that plant. And here was where that garlic was, but I had planted a lot of Detroit dark red beets here, and only 3 of them made it. So they came up, so I'm gonna leave them and try to plant something else there with them and use the space. So anyways, there is this year's garden in July. Like I said, I'm to be harvesting a lot of cucumbers and leaving those peas to dry out and stuff. So the garden's gonna take on a new look here not too long, so it's already starting to have its wear. But oh, the other garden, green stalk over there, I didn't show you that one, but that one I planted. I have some carrots in there. I did have some radishes and a few other things, but like the other one, I didn't really water it like I should have, so it hasn't done the best either. But anyways, well, I hope you enjoyed the tour and the time, and again, I hope to try to give you some more videos. I've been seeing some neat things with the chickens that I wanted to share with you. I know I've been keeping an eye on the turtle nest. I think August 4th will be around the date. I marked it on my calendar. I'll have to look again. Around the date that those turtles will be coming out. And I know I didn't get it on a video for you, but I had a lot more turtles that were coming up here by my garden because it's really sandy soil. And I saw them laying their eggs up here by the garden. So the month of August, I'll be on the lookout for a lot of baby turtles coming out of the ground and heading their way to some water. So that'd be cool to see. Hopefully I'll get to see some of it. But I'll do a chicken update video for you, hopefully in the near future too, and show you all that and what we're doing there. But anyways, thanks for taking some time with me and doing a little garden tour, sharing your time and space with me today. So as always, take care until next time.